turn red or blue. And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Timberlake High School. And yes, we do have football here this morning, but it is a different kind of football. This is KOFE Radio's first ever broadcast of St. Mary's soccer. The Lumberjack girls are here in Timberlake to take on the Timberlake Tigers. First game of the season for your Lumberjack girls. And Timberlake, they have played a few games already this year. They are, according to the records I looked at earlier, 1-1-2 on the season. St. Mary's, of course, like I said, this is the first game they've got to play. This game was originally scheduled for Thursday, but due to air quality, it was canceled, and then they were able to get it back here on Saturday, and the weather cooperated. Got some rain last night, pushed out that smoke, and here we are ready for some soccer action. Let's see here. The girls were also supposed to play last Saturday up in Grangeville. That game got called because of no officials. Grangeville was not able to get any officials to that game. This game is also on our YouTube stream. You can find a link on our Facebook page. There is some video with it, but the quality is not the greatest. I'm going through a window with our little camera that we have, and it's not wanting to focus very well, so it's fairly blurry, but at least you have some audio to listen to the game as well. Another note, this is the first time, like I said, calling a soccer game. I'm not well versed in calling soccer, but we will do the best we can, and it'll be a little bit of a learning season as we broadcast some of these soccer games. After this game, we will be headed up to Priest River to bring you the Lumberjack football game as the JV and varsity teams are playing up in Priest River this afternoon. Take a quick look here. It looks like Timberlake girls lost 6 players last year to graduation. Looks like they added around 6 players this year. They've got 4 freshmen, a senior, and a junior on their roster, it looks like. A few more than that, obviously, because they have to have more than that, but I'm trying to remember what my notes were. I wrote these down like middle of last week. Taking a look at the conference standings, Coeur d'Alene Charter, of course, is up at the top with a 3-0 record, 4-0, actually 3-0 in league play, 4-0 overall. Timberlake sits second with that 1-0-1 record in conference play. That is a 1 win, no losses, and 1 tie in conference. In the overall record, they have 1 win, 1 loss, 2 ties. Bonners Ferry, they are sitting at third with 1 win and 1 loss in conference play. 3 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie in non-conference. Like I said, St. Mary's, this is their first game. Grangeville, they are sitting with a conference record of no wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, no wins, 2 losses, 1 tie in their overall record. Priest River girls, they are 0-3 on the season, no wins, and they are 0-4 in their overall record. Taking a look at last year's record for Timberlake, they finished the regular season conference play 6-3 overall, 7-4. St. Mary's last year, their overall record was 5-7-2, 5 wins, 7 losses, 2 ties. They were 1-1 in district play. They are coached by Amber Morris. It is her second year as head coach for the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks lost just 1 senior last year off the soccer team. That was Brooklyn Weitzel. The other thing that they are not getting this year is the exchange students. Due to this COVID thing that's going on, there's no exchange students here in St. Mary's, so we don't get the benefit of any exchange players that sometimes come in and play soccer. Some other players lost from last year as well that moved away. Biani and Abby Ventura, they left St. Mary's, but they are going to be missed this year. One of them played very good offense. The other one was very good defense. And that's about it as far as that goes. There are 3 seniors on this year's roster. You've got Jenna Holder, who is the goalkeeper. You've got Cassidy Sikowski, who plays forward, and a midfielder, Macy Reimel. Those 3 are the seniors. Newcomers this year's roster, freshmen Maddie Johnson and Jamie Mueller, and sophomore Stacy Mitchell. She played volleyball last year, decided to come to the dark side of soccer, and she is listed as a defender on our roster. St. Mary's started out looking like they were going to have a large roster for this season. First couple of practices, 18, 19 players, 20 players. But they come into this first game a bit short-handed. They've got about 16 players on the bench. 2 of those, though, are injured and probably won't play in this shortened season at all. That is the freshman Jamie Mueller, as she is nursing an ankle injury. I do not actually know the full status on her. But then there is Cameron Morris, who had a surgery during sometimes in the when practice had started, about halfway through their first week of practice, so she wasn't feeling well, ended up having a surgery, and I think she is basically going to miss most of this season as well. She is on as a stats keeper / manager for the team. Another player that a couple players that actually aren't playing this year that I missed a minute ago was Lene Law. She is, I think, a senior in high school this year, junior or senior, and she is decided not to play soccer. And Cammie Darnold also did not decide to play soccer this year. With that being said, let's go ahead and take this game's supposed to get underway at 10 o'clock, and we are about 5 minutes away. Let's take a quick 1-minute break.
The Northwest is full of hard workers, early risers, innovators, and extra milers. You don't back down when hardships come your way. You open your doors and get to work. That's why P1 FCU Member Business Services is here to support you. We're proud to be your credit union. You keep life moving and communities united. Stronger together, we are P1 FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938.
Yeah, there's some turned blue. You got 11 of them on there, right?
Why should you stop at 10th Street Superstop? Well, because Kenny's a nice guy. Actually, no. Never mind. Yes, Kenny is nice, but that's not the reason. You should stop at 10th Street Superstop for all your livestock feed and pet feed needs.
Keep an eye on who gets on the goalie shirt for Priest. I'm going to need you to help me keep track, too, of when they make subs. You said they thought it was number 6 that was the goalie.
And by the way, Kenny's really a nice guy. 10th Street Superstop in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and they're getting ready for the national anthem and the starting lineups. We've got the Lumberjack girls down there lined up, and I think that is, I believe that is Cassidy Sikowski that's dancing down there in the middle of the Lumberjacks lineup. And actually the goalie for Timberlake already has her goalie jersey on, so it's going to be harder to tell as long as it's, they told me it was number 6, but we'll get you those starters here in just a little bit. So for those of you that might be new to soccer, there was 11 players on the field at one time, and that's why I said there was 16 players. St. Mary's is somewhat understaffed. It looks like actually Timberlake has about the same amount of players on their roster. One of the typical formations for the soccer field is a 4-4-2. I don't remember what St. Mary's runs, but that has 2 forwards, which are your scorers, your main offensive players. Then you got your 4 midfielders. They also play defense, and they are also offense. And then you've got 4 defenders or backs as well. And then you have your goalkeeper. So that is kind of an idea of how that is set up in the realm of the soccer world. Of course, the soccer field is called a pitch in most realms. I'll probably end up mostly calling it a field anyways, just because saying pitch kind of sounds weird, but that's where we are. We are at the Timberlake pitch for all intents and purposes. They play 2 40-minute halves. There's not really a whole lot of breaks. There's not really any timeouts. I think they can take timeouts, but I'm not sure. They usually have some stoppages of play maybe for injuries, but not much more than that. So now they are going to do, we'll take a 2-minute break.
Call Annie's
And we are back as they are getting the starting lineups here for both teams. I told her to give it back. Okay. For St. Mary's, it'll be starting at goalie Jenna Holder. It'll be Hope Asgard starting as well for St. Mary's at defense. Macy Reimel starting at defense. Beth Anderson starting at midfield. Allie Dundas is a defender. Cassidy Sikowski, she is starting at forward. Darian Todd starting at defender. Maddie Johnson will be starting at midfield. Bonnie Rotini starting at defense. Kylie Edwards starting at midfield. And Sarah Spence starting at midfield. For Timberlake, it'll be Charlie Hegstead starting. They don't have positions for them on here. Olivia Glemser, Ellen Nunn, I believe she is the goalkeeper. Kirsten Solly, Talise Anderson, Alexis Berry, Ashley Wilson, Isabel Hilliard, Jade Reed, Topanga Rojas, and Kaylee Lynn, the starters for the Timberlake Tigers. Both teams are in their huddles with their coaches, getting some last-minute instruction. And then they will all head out onto the field. St. Mary's will technically start with first possession since they are the visiting team. Jenna Holder jogging over to her place in the goal, wearing her Flash superhero goalie jersey. And the Lumberjacks take their position on the field or on the pitch as the Tigers come out as well. Actually, it looks like maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe it is the home team that gets possession first. Timberlake is the ones lined up with the ball at the midfield circle. I need to find my look through there and find my field diagram. So soccer fields can be as large as a football field. They can actually be larger than a football field. They can actually be a little bit smaller than a football field. St. Mary's actually has one of the largest fields in the league. So Timberlake has the ball. They feed it down to the St. Mary's side of the field. Darian Todd gets a foot on the ball and kicks it out of bounds. There'll be a throw-in by number 2, that is Hegstead, for Timberlake. She finds an open girl out in the middle there. And that is Lynn, as they're trying to get through the Lumberjack defense. Lynn does. She makes the shot, and it's wide of the goal, just off target by Kaylee Lynn. Lumberjack defense let one through early on in this one. I did not start my timer. Jenna Holder kicked it in. And right back at her was the Tigers as they kicked it right back through. I think that was number, maybe Glemser. I can't see the front jersey numbers are tiny on the jerseys. If I can get them to turn around, that looked like actually Alexis Berry with that long shot. Dundas with the kick back in from the goal. Sarah Spence misses that one. Going to it is Maddie Johnson, but it's still in control of Timberlake. Timberlake feeds it through the defense, gets it down into the 18. And it was going to be, I believe that is number 6 for St. Mary's, Allie Dundas in the middle that kicks it out. And then one of the Timberlake players gets a foot on it, kicks it out of bounds at the end line. Set it back up for another goal kick. Allie Dundas is the one that takes care of the goal kicks for St. Mary's. That one is kicked down towards Sarah Spence. It actually goes right to Hegstead, though, as Timberlake restarts their charge here on the inside, as Lumberjacks have not yet got into Timberlake territory. Another shot by Hegstead. That is no good, as it was wide. 2 shots now by Timberlake. That ball kicked down inside. It is Kylie Edwards who actually put her foot on it, and the ball ended up going backwards. Timberlake comes away with it. Now it's a steal by Dundas for St. Mary. She kicks it down across into Timberlake territory, and then the ball goes out of bounds. I believe it was last touched by Timberlake, so it'll be a throw-in by Beth Anderson. Beth looking for Sikowski along the sideline. Sikowski has it. First time on the Timberlake side of the field, fighting for the ball. Timberlake now has it at the moment as a steal, and they feed it forward, getting across the timeline as Hope tries to get in there to get the ball back. She can't. Now there's a wide open run for Timberlake. It's number 20. She's going to get the ball right past Jenna as Jenna came out to contest that, and Kaylee Lynn puts the shot in, and we get the first score on the board is by the Timberlake Tigers. At the 36-minute mark, 4 minutes gone in the game. The first score comes for the Tigers. St. Mary's will now have possession, see if they can answer back. They're letting Timberlake spend a little bit too much time on the offensive side of the ball, and Timberlake almost takes that one back away. Hope Asgard comes away with it, but she can't feed it up the field. Timberlake passes one through. Nobody was there to get it. Jenna Holder scoops it up, and she's going to boot it back towards midfield, see if St. Mary's can get a first two. No St. Mary's players try to get to that ball first, which was probably going to be frustrating for Coach Amber. They do get it down in between the 18 and the midfield mark, and then Timberlake kicks the ball out of bounds. St. Mary's will have the throw in from the far side, and that is going to be, I believe, Kylie Edwards doing the throw in. She finds Sarah Spence right back to Kylie. Kylie feeds it down the sideline. Sikowski tries to get to it in time. She's going to contest the Timberlake player. Sikowski almost comes away with it, but she forces Rojas to kick it out of bounds. St. Mary's will have the throw in from the far side of the field, down in between that 18 and that midfield mark, and another ball that goes into Cassidy. It's going to be kicked out of bounds. I think that was by Alexis Berry for Timberlake. St. Mary's is now just across from the goal. They look inside to Hope Asgard in the 18, but good defense by the Timberlake Tigers. Feed it back out top. Timberlake trying to mount a charge back the other way as Lumberjacks fall back. Darian Todd with a little interception there, a steal. As she kicks it, it goes out of bounds, though. And it'll be a throw-in by Timberlake. They feed it down inside to Lynn. Lynn is trying to get some room, but Rotini kicks it away. And it goes back to Timberlake, though. They are in charge of the ball. Dundas goes and gets it from inside the 18. And then it's taken away by Timberlake, but the Timberlake player, I believe that looks like it's number 5, maybe, Glemser, who kicks it out of bounds. St. Mary's will throw it in from the sideline. Anderson throws it in. She gets it to Maddie Johnson. Johnson tries to get it. She gets it away from one defender, but then is picked up by Hegstead, who gets the ball away. And the Tigers are going to try a shot there. That was blocked, actually, by Dundas. I'm not sure who made that shot for. I think it was Nunn that tried, but it was blocked right away. That time, I believe a shot by Timberlake, but it's going to be scooped up by Holder. I'm going to give her her first save of the game. She kicks it down to midfield, right back, booted back to the offensive side for Timberlake. Now St. Mary's gets the ball back. Rotini kicks it upfield, looking for an offensive player. Midfielder Edwards was there, but not quite there in time. Timberlake still comes away with it. Timberlake working in the middle of the field. Now they bring it to the near side. Looking for an open player. They find Solly. Solly takes a shot from just inside the 18 near side, and it's going to be a save by Holder. Kirsten Solly with that shot, number 7. Now Lumberjacks get one through. Hope Asgard tries to get to it. She contends it with one of the Timberlake players. They both go down. Hope is able to get up faster. Now a ball is kicked down into the 18. It is Beth Anderson down there. It gets kicked out of the in line. And I think they're going to say corner kick, St. Mary's ball. Allie Dundas is going to come all the way down from her defensive side. Nope, now they say it's Timberlake ball. So it must have been last touched by, I believe, Anderson. So a goal kick. They're going to feed it down. They find Kirsten Solly again. I would have thought Anderson would have crashed down on that. She had an opportunity to get to it before it got to the Timberlake player. It is still on the St. Mary's offensive side. That ball was kicked out of bounds by Reimel. Looks like there's somebody there's talking to Coach Morris, maybe getting ready to substitute here in a little bit, but I'm not sure who that is. I think it's Stacy Mitchell, actually, as Timberlake has the throw in, kicked right back out of bounds by Kylie Edwards. She got in there and contested that throw in. Now they do it again. It's going to be contested by Spence. Spence gets it up through the defense. Kylie Edwards puts a boot on the ball and kicks it up to the goalie, is where the goalie comes out and gets it out in the 18. And it's going to be not really a shot. I think it was just a pass. It was kind of long. That ball is kicked down. Bonnie Rotini steps in front of it and hits it with her chest, knocks it down, but then Timberlake comes away. Timberlake working on the far side. We have a whistle now, though, back at that previous play. I'm not sure. There was something against, maybe Timberlake maybe it was a foul on Timberlake. No, it's a throw-in. It was out of bounds. Okay, I couldn't see that line on the far side. Edwards had the throw-in. It was headbutted back out by, I believe, Electra Sturgill, who's into the game for Timberlake. I didn't see that sub happen, as Timberlake's subs are not wearing the pennies on the sideline like St. Mary's is, and Stacy Mitchell is now at the midline waiting to come in. St. Mary's working on their side of the Timberlake side of the field. Ball is getting batted around. Now it's fed through by Timberlake. It's going to be see who can get to it first, defense or offense, and it's going to be number 8, Anderson, that gets to it. She takes a shot. It is no good, and saved by Jenna Holder. Holder kicks it back out to midfield. Sarah Spence tries to settle, but has the ball taken away by Jade Reed. And Spence is now trying to recover to get that ball back. That ball is kicked down right to Macy Reimel. She tries to get a boot on, doesn't get a solid kick. The ball goes not the way she wanted. Ending up with the ball is going to be number 20. Once again, that is Kaylin Lynn. And she's going to put the shot in just past Holder. Holder gets a finger on it, but not quite enough to get that thing knocked out of play. So that's the second goal for Timberlake. Second goal by Kaylee Lynn. 2-0 in the early parts of the first half. Did we see who went out? As I seen Stacy come in. Did she come in yet? No, she did not. Okay. So Lumberjacks need to get down here on offense and put something in the goal. Again, Timberlake does have a bit of advantage. They have about 4 games under their belt as far as that goes. This is St. Mary's first game of the season, so Timberlake does have a slight advantage. They've already had some playing time. Lumberjacks offense working. Hope Asgard had the ball. She got double teamed. Timberlake comes away with it, takes it the other way, and it's going to be Hegstead. She feeds it forward, but a bit hard, and it's going to roll all the way into the penalty box, and Jenna Holder is going to scoop it up and kick it back out. Edwards has the ball. A couple more Lumberjacks. Actually, it's Angela Parrish. Looks like she is lined up, stepped up to the midline to come in as well, as Macy Reimel battles for the ball across by Timberlake. Now they work it back at about the penalty kick area. That shot is in by Lynn. It is no good. I said in, but it's not actually in. It's just a shot on goal, and it's a save by Holder. Holder kicks it back out, but the Tigers quickly get that ball first. It is down the other way. Reimel trying to play some defense. Timberlake goes back towards the midfield. Maddie Johnson, though, is able to get that ball away. A little bit of a bump there from Jade Reed, though, and she retakes the ball from Johnson. They get it down near the 18 on the sideline. Darian Todd gets a foot on that one. It goes out the end line. That's going to be a corner kick, as that was last touched by Todd. And we've got some substitutions going to be coming, but they're not letting them substitute still yet. Dead ball, they usually let them substitute, and this time they did not. They're having them do the corner kick first. That corner kick goes right across the face of the goal, and nobody there to knock it in. Trying to see what Timberlake player that was that took that corner kick. I believe that is it looks like number 15. Timberlake, though, still on offense. They're trying to kick it in. A couple of blocks there by Allie Dundas, but Timberlake still in control. And finally, Macy Reimel gets a foot on the ball, gets it up in the air. Spence is fighting for it, trying to get to it before Hilliard, but she does get there first. A pass, though, by Hilliard is intercepted by Edwards, and St. Mary's had the ball for a second. Ball is up in the air. Team's fighting for it. Nobody wanted to put a head on it. It comes down in between two players. Now the ball is through the Lumberjack defense almost. It's in control by Hegstead. Hegstead far side. She's going to take the shot, and it's going to go. It just misses as Jenna took a dive at it. It goes, I believe, out of bounds. St. Mary's ball. I didn't see who made that shot from Timberlake, though. 26 minutes, 26 and a half to go in the first half. Goal kick. Oh, now we have the subs. It's going to be Hope Asgard coming out. I believe that was for Angela Parrish coming in. Or maybe Maddie Johnson came out for Angela. But I know that Stacy Mitchell has entered the game. Timberlake has the ball, midfield. Kylie Edwards, she gets it out into the mid. Angela Parrish working hard, trying to get the ball. But Timberlake feeds it back onto the offensive side. Darian Todd trying to chase it down and get there before Somas does. And Todd does get there. She feeds it up to Macy Reimel. Reimel was looking to cross it to the middle of the field, but she did get contested by Reed. And Timberlake able to take it away. Hilliard puts a boot on it, trying to feed it forward, and it goes right into Jenna Holder. Rolls to a stop at just near the 8-yard line. Holder rolls it back out. And it's Allison Dundas, one of the defenders, bringing it up a ways for St. Mary's. Actually, there must have been a penalty there on Timberlake because it's actually going to be a free kick from over there, a non-indirect kick. And a nice foot put on that by Dundas. It's all the way through the defense. Cassidy Sikowski has a chance. She's going to kick it in, but it's going to be a fairly easy scoop by the goalie. But St. Mary's finally gets a shot on goal. Ellen Nunn with the save, though. Sikowski might have been able to take a little bit more run with that to get a little bit closer, but she'd have a defender closing in on her. Now the other way, Mitchell fighting with number 2, I believe that's Hegstead in the middle of the field. No, that was Bonnie Rotini, not Mitchell. They do feed it down, though, into the 18. Back out. It's into control of Somas. Now they cross it to the top. Now they try the shot. That's Hegstead. It is a slow rolling shot right to Jenna Holder, who easily scoops that one up and kicks it back out towards midfield. Kylie Edwards is trying to get to it on the sideline, and that's going to actually end up out of bounds off of St. Mary's, so the Tigers will throw it in from midfield. Down the far sideline, Stacy Mitchell puts a foot on that and gets it back up near the midfield marker, but quickly back into the St. Mary's side of play, and Timberlake is attacking once again. They have it up near the top of the 18. They feed it down inside. That shot is a pretty nice one, but it's a nice save by Holder, and I think that might have been number 20 with that shot. Holder with the save. St. Mary's has it, taking it down near the 18 now. It's into Sikowski. Sikowski gets around one defender. She gets into the 18, and another defender comes in and kicks it away. That's Jade Reed. Goes out of bounds on the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for St. Mary's as St. Mary's trying to put some pressure on the offensive side. Edwards will throw it in near the corner. She's going to look into Spence. Spence tries to check to the ball, but it gets right past her and picked up by Timberlake. Timberlake bringing it back down quickly. They get it across the timeline or the midfield line. Stacy Mitchell down there trying to fight for that ball. They feed it to the top in that penalty kick circle, and they get it down inside. That shot is on the way. It's deflected out of bounds, I believe, by St. Mary's. That was Kaylee Lynn once again with a shot. Some subs being made by Timberlake. About 16 minutes left in the first half of play. Timberlake leads 2-0. St. Mary's Lumberjacks soccer here on KOFE. Once again, hopefully things will get smoother as I start to learn the calling of soccer. That one was a kick down in. Darian Todd tries to kick it out, gets her foot up on it. She probably should have just tried to settle it. It gets behind her, and Somas was able to get to it, and she gets a little bit of a boot on it, but not hard enough to be much danger as it just rolled right into Jenna Holder. Seventh save I've got tallied for Holder as the Lumberjacks are trying to get back on offense. Beth Anderson has the ball near side, Timberlake side of the field. Bethy gets it past the defender, gets it out to Parrish. Parrish trying to get it up to Reimel, but couldn't get there before the defender got it out. The ball's getting booted around pretty good. Sikowski is looking for a pass from Edwards. Edwards gets tripped as they're going down. I think the whistle going to be called. I believe that's a foul on number 9 there, Lexus Berry. Actually, nope, it is just a throw-in. So St. Mary's going to try to get something going. Again, that ball was kicked out of bounds. This time it was kicked out by St. Mary, so the ball goes over to Timberlake. Timberlake will throw in from way down on their own end of the field. They get it in, looks like to Berry, but it's going to be Spence who kicks it right back into the 18. Sikowski is trying to work against a couple of defenders there. Gets it out to Edwards. Edwards trying to feed it back in. It's going to be deflected out of bounds by a Timberlake defender. Edwards will throw it in from the sideline into Spence. Spence puts a boot on it, but it's going to go out of bounds. And that'll be off of Spence. So St. Mary's goes back to defense. Timberlake will have the throw in. Far side of the field, can't see the jersey number to see who it is with the throw in. It might be Ashley Wilson for Timberlake. She throws it in. Looks like it went right to Sarah Spence, and Spence kicks it right back out of bounds. Back in it comes, fighting for the ball. Mitchell is way up. Mitchell must be in as a midfielder. She's way up, but so is Bonnie. They've got the whole defense actually up on the Timberlake side of the field. A little bit of extra support, I guess, to help the offensive side, but a lot of times the defense won't go much past midfield. The ball is back down now, though, on the opposite side. A chip shot from the far side that's going to miss everything, go out of bounds at the end line for Timberlake. St. Mary's will have the goal kick. Trying to see the number on the girl who made that shot. Like I said, the numbers on the front of these jerseys are pretty small, so you gotta wait until they turn around. That was number 9, Alexis Berry. Dundas will take the goal kick. Kicks it into the middle of the field. No Lumberjacks really in the area. None of them tried. A few tried to check to it, but couldn't get there in time. The ball gets back down inside the 18, and Dundas kicks it back out. It goes to Reed for Timberlake. She's going to try to feed it in, and it's going to be a kick that's going just wide of the goal. It was meant to be a pass, and it goes out of bounds. So once again, a corner kick. We've got a couple of subs coming in for St. Mary's, and it's going to be Spence and Sikowski going out. I'm trying to find Spence on here. Johnson came in, and it might have been, was it Emma? Trying to see who the other sub was that came in for St. Mary's. I didn't catch it. I know one was Johnson. Timberlake has the ball. Kicked out of bounds, contested by St. Mary's. No, it was Emma Spooner. I do see her now up there in her forward spot. So the forwards, just to give you an idea of what they do, they play mostly on the offensive side of the ball. They don't really go back and play defense. They will help in defense if they're trying to get the ball back, obviously, on the offensive side, but they hang near midfield waiting for a pass, hopefully come up to them. Timberlake now has the ball down on St. Mary's side, deep in St. Mary's territory. You're going to get it to Darian Todd, who tries to clear it, but it goes back to Timberlake. Macy Reimel, they're battling with Anderson, trying to get the ball away from her, but Timberlake's still in control. Now we got a girl down in the midfield, right in the penalty kick area, or the top of the 18. She does hop up, and I think that was Bonnie Rotini. I think she gets called for the foul, and it's a free kick for Timberlake. St. Mary's builds their wall, trying to see what player that is for Timberlake that's taken that free kick. The kick is over the wall and saved by Holder. Wait for that Timberlake player to turn around to see. I think it's number 2, Hegstead, with that free kick. And Jenna Holder with the save. St. Mary's back on the offensive side, trying to get something going. Timberlake, though, takes the ball away, kicks it down the other way. Bonnie Rotini tries to put a head on that ball. It was kicked up high, but it ends up deflecting behind her, so it goes in favor of Timberlake. Lumberjack defense trying to get the ball back. It's going to be Todd here near side working against Somas, and then Dundas comes in to support. Dundas tries to feed it back out to the edge, and it's still in control of Timberlake, though. St. Mary's defense trying to get that thing out of there. A little chip shot there by Kaylee Lynn from the top for Timberlake. It is a shot on goal, but it is a save again by Holder. Holder kicks it to midfield. Timberlake, one of the first players to be able to get to it. I think Johnson got to it first, but the ball kind of went wild from her. Now it's fed back down to the far side. Todd trying to get it here near side on defense. She feeds it back up. Only players there to get it, though, were Timberlake players. And again, Rotini puts the ball on it, or puts her head on a ball that's up in the air, and that one deflects right behind her. Thankfully, it goes right to Holder. Holder kicks it out. Macy Reimel puts a head on it. Now she has the ball back. She feeds it up to Angela Parrish. Parrish is working against number 14, who is Hilliard, and I think Hilliard just got called for a penalty by putting a little bit too much of a body check into Parrish. And it's going to be an indirect kick there for St. Mary's. A little too much body check from the side, a little bit from behind on that one by Hilliard. Lumberjack defense or offense goes all near the 18. Allison Dundas kicks it down in, but Timberlake's first to the ball. Rotini, though, feeds it back in. Now it gets kicked back down into the St. Mary's side of the field. Dundas is trying to chase to it, and Jenna Holder, she tries to come all the way out to try to get that, and she misses the ball, and it leaves the offensive player with all the time in the world. I think that was at Kaylee Lynn again, but she had an open goal for her, and she miskicks that sucker, and it goes out of bounds. Thankfully for St. Mary's, it was a shot off goal because Jenna had tried to charge out there to clear that ball, even though Dundas was coming up on it fast too. That ball ended up, thankfully, missing wide. Otherwise, sometimes those wide open goals are the hardest ones to make. Dundas will kick it back up from the goal. And again, the only player near the ball was a Timberlake player. And I don't know, I haven't been to too many practices this year, but I know one thing that Coach Amber tried to really impress upon the kids was to be first to the ball. So nobody's really trying to check to that ball when it's getting kicked into the air. Timberlake has it. Working is Hegstead. She takes a kind of a spinning shot from about the 18-yard line. It's just going to be a little slow roller once again, and it goes right to Holder. Holder kicks it to midfield, but Timberlake is able to get it, and they are still on the St. Mary's side. It's down into the 18. Fight to see who gets there first. A shot that's over the goal, and I'm seeing the got to see the number of that player before I can see who took that shot. Those small numbers on the front are hard to tell. She just needs to turn a little bit, and I'll be able to see who it is, but right now I'm not being able to see it. Number 9 with that shot. That's Alexis Berry. What? You can tell me.
It looks like 20.
No, it was 9 with the shot. Goal kick again. It comes up, and Timberlake first 2. A long pass, though, goes out of bounds by Timberlake at the end line, so St. Mary's will have the goal kick once again. The penalty arc, okay. I've got my field diagram here. I should be looking at that every so often if I'm trying to remember what a certain area of the field is called. So Dundas again will, I think we had a sub and I missed who it was. I think Sarah Spence came back in. Macy Reimel went out. I think that's the only sub. Timberlake still working on offense. The ball gets through the defense, but the Lumberjacks defense able to get back to it. Coming up and trying to contest it near the sideline is Anderson. Ball goes out of bounds. Anderson with the throw in. And Sarah Spence gets a nice little steal there. She's working against Hegsted. She stole it from behind her, even. That ball was kicked out of bounds, and they say last touch by St. Mary's, so the throw in, or maybe they're saying it was maybe it was a foul on Spence. The free kick, or the indirect kick, comes in. St. Mary's quickly gets it. Spence is fighting with Hegsted again for that ball. Johnson comes in to try to help her, but they find an open Timberlake player in the middle of the field. Then they feed it forward, trying to get a through pass, and Jenna Holder comes up and covers that up and kicks it back out to midfield. That's one of the first times I think I've seen a player for St. Mary's check to that ball as Parrish was going to, as it was in the air, trying to contest it. It's going to get kicked out of bounds, last touched by Timberlake. Todd will throw it in for the Jacks. She's looking in to try it, I think, to get it to Sarah, but then an illegal throw in by Todd. She pulls her back foot up off the ground before she releases the ball. I used to have a stat for that in here, but I think I took that out. I don't see it on here now. So Timberlake will take the throw in instead. 9 minutes to go in the first half, just under 10. That throw in goes right to Dundas. Dundas boots it right back out of bounds. Timberlake will throw in again from almost the exact same spot. Throwing it in for Timberlake is Glimser. She gets it down in close to the 18. Allie Dundas is able to turn it away, though. She's trying to get it out of play. It's getting booted around down there, and Jenna Holder is able to come out as that one comes into the goal box, and she scoops that up and kicks it back out. Short kick ends up in the midfield circle. Johnson puts a foot on it, kicks it over her head. Angela Parrish fighting for the ball. They get it through. Angela is trying to get a run there. She feeds it over to Spooner. The ball now gets knocked back by defense, and Timberlake weathers that storm as St. Mary's tried to have something going there. Timberlake now coming back the other way. They've got 6 players down there right now. A little bit of a mismatch as St. Mary's was short-handed, but the defense is doing a good job of weathering that storm. Rotini got it out to Johnson. Johnson gets it up to Spence. Spence tries to feed it up to Spooner, and it's going to be Timberlake that kicks it out of bounds. I believe that was Somis. St. Mary's will take the throw in, and Angela goes out. Cassidy Sikowski now comes in. I believe that was the only sub made there. So Timberlake has the ball. They get it through the Lumberjack defense. Todd is going to try to get it and feed it back up the field. No St. Mary's player there, though, but she does kind of clear it so the defense can get back down on the ball. Working towards the middle of the field is Reed. Reed with a shot from about the penalty mark, and it's no good. Nice save, diving save there by Holder. Holder, nice kick all the way back into the midfield circle. A little header by Sikowski. Sikowski gets over the defense. Now Sikowski's on the run, and the shot is wide of the goal by Sikowski, but at least St. Mary's has got another shot out there. Sikowski was trying to turn on the afterburners there to get a little bit of speed ahead of the defender so she could maybe take a few extra steps before she tried that shot, but the defender was closing on her quickly. Goal kick for Timberlake. Kick it over to the far side, and it's going to go out of bounds. It was a good thought as they were looking for Topanga Rojas along the sideline. St. Mary's throw into Spooner. Sikowski now has it. Sikowski, the defender kicks it back out towards Spooner. Spooner ends up with it, but the defender comes out there on her, and that was Rojas. Rojas tries to feed it up, and it's along the sideline. Coming out is Reed. Reed takes it. She's trying to shield the ball from Hope Asgard. I didn't see Hope come back in, but she is back into the game, so I don't know who is out. I think it was Kylie Edwards. I'm supposed to have somebody over here spotting for me to make sure when they help me with subs, but she's not doing a good job.
Concentrate on the film.
So another, I believe, a foul on Timberlake. So St. Mary's has the free kick there on the side. They get it down the line to Sikowski. Sikowski trying to work into the middle and taken away by Timberlake. That was Anderson on defense. It goes out to Reimel, or no, that's Mitchell. It feeds it, kicks it back up into the fray of things, out to Johnson. Johnson and Spence now fighting for that ball. Rotini clears it ahead for St. Mary's, trying to get it back into a danger position and hopefully a scoring option for St. Mary's, but Timberlake able to battle it back out. That one is going to come out to the near side, and it's Darian Todd puts a foot on that one, but they say, I was surprised because I thought they said that was St. Mary. They're saying St. Mary's ball, but I thought Todd was the last one to touch that. She kicked it out of bounds. A break there for the Lumberjacks. 5 minutes in the first half to go, 5.5 roughly. Into Spence. A couple of Lumberjacks fighting for that ball. They get it through. Spence is trying to get up to it, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Glimser. St. Mary's still on the attack. They'll be inbounding it from the sideline here on the near side, about level with the 18. Looking for Spence. Spence had it for a second, but it's taken away by Timberlake. Bonnie Rotini comes up from defensive side of things and tries to get the ball. She goes tumbling, but and the ball kind of stayed right there as a player from Timberlake put her foot on it too. And there's Darian Todd getting aggressive there and putting a body check into number 10, Somas, as she then tried to slide in to keep that ball in bounds. It goes out of bounds, last touch by Todd. So the ball goes back to Timberlake. They will inbound. Or I say inbound, but they'll throw it in. And Todd comes up and intercepts that one for a moment. Timberlake, though, recovers it. And it goes out of bounds. Last touched by St. Mary's. Throw in by the Tigers. Todd, again, steps in front of another pass. Almost steals it away, but Tigers able to get it. Then the defense for St. Mary's does get it up to Johnson. Johnson gets it past a Timberlake player. That Timberlake player is number 5. That's Glemser, who ends up shielding herself and the ball from Johnson. She has a long pass there that goes into the 18, and Holder comes out and gets it. Ball back at midfield. St. Mary's fighting for it. Both teams trying to get control. Timberlake does come away with control finally. They feed it down inside. Nice pass there. It's into Somas. Defense, though, Dundas comes out and gets it away, clears it out of bounds. Timberlake will throw in from the side, near side. Now they're getting a substitution there for Timberlake. These Lumberjack girls will probably be pretty worn out by the end of this game. Like I said, they've only got 3 subs they can use, so they've got to be smart with those. They don't have a whole lot of defender subs, though. Most of the subs are your forwards and mids. That was kind of a, I'm not going to mark that down as anything. It was got a foot on the ball. I believe that was number 14 for Timberlake, Hilliard. and it goes out of bounds at the inline. Goal kick for St. Mary's. So St. Mary's has 2 forwards, it looks like. I think 4 mids and 3 defenders. I think it's that's if I'm seeing that correctly. I have to ask Coach Morris what kind of a formation she uses before our next game. That ball is getting kicked around. Coming in and trying to take it away is Hope Asgard, but Timberlake able to keep control. They get it down near the goalie box, and Holder comes out and picks it up. 2 minutes left in the first half, and that's usually when they stop the clock, so that if they add any time, you don't really know when the whistle's going to blow for halftime. Fighting for the ball, Hope Asgard gets tripped up. I think that might have been from a little bit behind. Are they going to? Is that just out of bounds, or are they giving a penalty there? A foul to Hope. I'm not sure. See what they do with the ball when they bring it back. If they throw it in, or if they place it on the ground. I think that's Stacy Mitchell that ran out there to get it. The ball was all the way out on the track. Nope, it was just out of bounds. Timberlake ball. Timberlake throws it in. 2 Lumberjacks try to kick that to clear it out, and they both pretty much miss it, but they do finally get it clear of the 18. Timberlake, though, in control of it. Rotini steps in front of it, tries to clear it out, and a couple Lumberjack players are trying to get that ball cleared. Spence is one of them, but Timberlake still working it in the middle of the field. Now they feed it down to the near side. It's going to be a miss on the pass, though, as it goes right past the Timberlake player and out of bounds. St. Mary's will throw it in, but they're way down deep on their own side of the field. That was Sturgill for Timberlake that missed that pass coming across. Try to throw it into Johnson, and it's going to be kicked right back out of bounds by Reed. So St. Mary's will throw it in once again as Todd looks down the line to Anderson. It comes off of Anderson, goes to Johnson. Johnson puts a boot on it, and it goes out to Hilliard for Timberlake, and she kicks it back out of bounds. Another throw in for St. Mary's. And that is the end of the first half, though, before that throw in. So at half for St. Mary's soccer, the Lumberjack girls trail 2-0 at the end of the first half. Let's take a 3-minute break.
I had great Mexican food. I mean, really great. Has it been a while? Well, grab your kids and head to Casa de Oro for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro has fantastic burritos, tacos, and chimis. Not to mention fajita and shrimp dishes. Little Johnny doesn't like Mexican food? Well, don't worry. Casa de Oro also has an American menu as well. Dinner and lunch a la fresca. Great service and margaritas with a kick. Casa de Oro, it's what's happening for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro on Golf Course Drive in St. Mary's.
This is what most people's heart rate sounds like when they're getting their taxes done. And this is what a heart rate sounds like when you file at H&R Block. Because they have upfront transparent pricing, so you'll know the price before you begin. No need to sweat a thing. Oh, and that is the sound of my stomach demanding tacos. Upfront transparent pricing. Just another way it's better with Block.
Yeah.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Yamaha Wolverine R-Max 1000. The Wolverine R-Max 1000 delivers class-leading power and smooth performance thanks to its new powerful 999cc dual overhead cam 8-valve parallel twin engine, featuring legendary Yamaha durability. The all-new advanced and heavy-duty suspension is designed to provide maximum articulation in low-speed situations, a balanced ride feeling when trail riding, and maximize dampening during sport driving. Visit St. Mary's Saw and Cycle today to see for yourself the all-new Yamaha Wolverine R-Max and realize your adventure. Always protect the environment. Wear your seatbelt, helmet, eye protection, and protective clothing. Read the owner's manual and product warning labels before operation.
hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time.
Don't have a charger with you or anything?
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips, they're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
And we are back. It is halftime here in Timberlake. Lumberjack girls soccer trails the Timberlake Tigers 2-0 at the end of the first half. And take a look at the team statistics here. We'll start with Timberlake. They have the 2 goals in the first half. They had 10 shots on goal, 19 total shots, and only 1 foul. They probably had a couple more fouls than that, but I was having a hard time keeping track of some of that as it goes. So no cards for anybody. There was 1 corner kick by Timberlake and a save by the Timberlake goalie, who is Ella Nunn. For St. Mary's, they had 1 shot on goal, 2 shots, a couple of fouls for the Lumberjacks, and 11 saves by Holder. St. Mary's has 6 steals on Timberlake, and they are doing something to they're fixing some of the net up there on the goal on the far side of the floor of the field. So in any case, that is how this thing is set up right now, 2-0. St. Mary's still in it, but they've got to get a little bit of offense going here in the second half. It is a cloudy, it's not too cold of a day, but it's a bit breezy as it looks like the wind coming out of the south right now. Don't forget that we've got this game here, and then later on this afternoon, we will be in Priest River to bring you the Lumberjack football games as well, as they are going to be opening the season. The JV team will be playing in Priest River, and I think their game is at either noon or 1, and the varsity football team plays at 4 o'clock, and we will have the varsity game on KOFE as well. Both teams down there getting their talking to by the coaches, going over some things. One thing I would say that I noticed somewhat in that first half was Lumberjacks not really checking to the ball a whole lot a couple times. There was a few times when that ball was kicked up in the air by holders from the goal or even from a goal kick from Dundas, and several of the players just kind of stood and waited for that ball instead of checking to it to try to get to it before a Timberlake defender. So I would imagine that might be one thing that's being discussed there at the halftime huddle. Take a quick look maybe at the individual statistics here where we've got for St. Mary's. Not a whole lot really stats-wise. There's not a lot of stats as it pertains to soccer. But let's see here. Jenna Holder, like I said, she had the 11 saves in the first half. And that's the biggest stats really in the whole thing. Kind of scrolling around, I think Dundas had a couple of steals in that one, because Cassidy Sikowski has 2 shots. One of those shots was on goal, but it was saved by Timberlake. And that is just about the amount of the stats there, except for, let's see here, I think it was, what number is, number 12 is Darian Todd. She had a couple of steals as well in the first half. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the second half.
Why should you get all of your prescriptions from your local Good Neighbor Pharmacy? because over 100,000 patients per year experience serious complications from drug interactions. At Jack's Pharmacy in St. Mary's, your prescriptions are not only filled, but we double-check for such complications. You can trust our knowledgeable pharmacists for that extra personalized attention. You're not just a number to us. You are our neighbor. Bring all your prescriptions to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, or you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Everyone knows that the timber industry is a huge part of our community. Working in the timber industry requires big equipment. Big equipment requires a special mechanic or custom machined items to repair. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's is your very own full-service, large equipment diesel mechanic that not only has a full-size shop, but also has a service truck that can come straight to you when you break down in the woods. If you're in need of big truck or big equipment repair, stop by Jake's Machine and Repair at 106 Homer Drive in St. Mary's or call 208-596-8819. 208-596-8819. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating.
One too many.
Staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating.
And we are back. The teams will switch sides of the field that they are going to. St. Mary's now going from left to right, and Timberlake right to left. Those two goals by Kaylee Lynn for Timberlake. One of them was at the 3-minute mark, one was at the 10-minute mark. Timberlake has the ball as they took it away from St. Mary's. They started with the ball with the first to start with. The Lumberjacks clear it out, though, and Sarah Spence feeds it up to Hope Asgard. Asgard trying to get around the defenders, and the defender gets a foot on that ball and kicks it out of bounds. That's Glemser for Timberlake. Throw in by St. Mary's. Sikowski feeds the ball up towards Spence. Spence, Lumberjacks trying to put on an attack. It's Asgard who has it, and it's going to be cleared out. And Beth Anderson ends up with the ball just outside the 18. She goes to Spence. Spence was looking to make some room. Ball gets taken away, though. Timberlake back on the attack. They feed it upfield. Dundas tries to put a foot on the ball, but she misses. Timberlake is through the defense. Defense trying to recover as Lynn tries a pass across there. A nice save by Holder. As that was actually a cross, but I'm not really going to call it a save. But Holder comes out and takes that ball away. A nice kick by Holder out to midfield. Just gets it across the midfield line. Spence tries to feed it over to Beth. Beth feeds it right back to Spence, and then Timberlake takes it away and kicks it all the way down the field just into the 18. Todd tries to get that ball back, but she's beat to it by number 15, Reed, as Timberlake works up near the penalty arc. And that's going to be kind of a shot that's wide by Lynn. Kaylee Lynn, it goes out of bounds. Lynn has 9 shots in this game so far. Stacy Mitchell looks like she's getting set to check back in. I'm pretty sure it was the starters for St. Mary's that started the second half. Looking out there, I do believe that is the case. Allison Dundas with the goal kick. Johnson feeds it back to Reimel. Reimel goes up to the midfield to Sikowski. Sikowski trying to clear some room. She gets it to Spence. Lumberjacks working forward. Some good footwork here. Over to Johnson. Johnson crosses it back, but it doesn't go where she's exactly hoping it'll go. It was intended for Anderson, I think, but it was taken away by Timberlake. Timberlake taking it the other way. They get it across the midfield mark and all the way up to number 15, Reed. And it's into the 18. A shot. Oh, it's... Jenna dove out there to try to snag that, and it crosses the face of the goal. She got just a little bit of a hand on it, and it comes into Kaylee Lynn, and she puts it in. I could probably give an assist. Coming out for St. Mary. Nope, not yet. I guess they can't switch there. Oh, okay. Well, Stacy can't run out on the field. Her person she's replacing has to come to her. So Macy Reimel is coming out. Stacy Mitchell going in. Reimel, a midfield / defender. Stacy the same, I think. Stacy actually, I think, is just a defender is what she's listed as. So St. Mary's has the ball on the Timberlake side, trying to see if they can put something in as they are down 3-0 here early part of the second half. Forgot to start the timer on my tablet. Timberlake has the ball back as they're bringing it back across the field. Hegstead is bringing it across. Stacy Mitchell tries to put a big boot on it, misses the ball. Timberlake still has it. Now we're going to get a whistle. Must have been a foul on Timberlake because they're bringing the ball back up just near the midfield circle. Dundas has it. Dundas is looking to find somebody open to get that ball to. She's going to go towards the middle of the field as Hope was there, as Spence was there as well. Hope was trying to check to it, but a defender did get in her way. Timberlake's trying to feed the ball down the sideline. That is number 9. That's Barry, who kicks it out of bounds. Stacy Mitchell she's going to pick it up, and I think she's going to have Kylie Edwards do the throw-in. Hope Asgard comes off for St. Mary's. Macy Reimel back in for the Lumberjacks. Looks like Macy's into a midfield spot. That was the throw-in was in. Jade Reed for Timberlake kicked it back out of bounds, so St. Mary's will throw it in once again. Timberlake was supposed to be going to Orofino today, the boys, to go play Orofino, but they got headed that way and got turned around. I guess the air quality still isn't good in Orofino. St. Mary's gets the ball into Rotini. Rotini's fighting for it, and it's not quite taken away from her. Now it kind of is, but it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Barry, so St. Mary's will throw it in once again. So after all is said and done, Timberlake should have just rescheduled their boys' game to play St. Mary's today too, and they could have played instead of getting turned around halfway to Orofino. The ball is thrown in, stolen away by Kaylee Lynn, and now Mitchell takes it away as well, though, and kicks it out of bounds. It's a throw-in for Timberlake. Lynn will throw it in for the Tigers from the corner. She's going to look towards the middle of the 18. It's fed across the field. Fighting for it on the far side is Anderson, and they're going to try to kick it up. It's taken still by a Timberlake player. Ball is into the 18. Rotini does get it cleared. Reimel has it. She's going to look up to try to feed it ahead of Johnson, but it goes right to Hilliard, but the Lumberjacks are still actually in control of the ball. Sikowski feeds it across to Spence. Spence continues that crossing action to Reimel. Reimel gets it up to Sikowski. Actually, that was Anderson on the far side that was feeding it. And now we're going to get a whistle and a St. Mary's ball. It's either a handball or a foul by Timberlake. So Timberlake will back up. St. Mary's will get the kick here. Dundas will take care of that. And the Lumberjack defense is all moved up to the Timberlake side of the field. That kick is going to go down inside the 18. No Lumberjack able to get to it in time. It wasn't really a shot, so I'm not going to call it a save or a shot. Timberlake keeper was just able to get to that before any other Lumberjack was able to. They get the ball past Todd as they're working it down. He didn't try to intercept it. There was Dundas. She does get the ball slowed down, and Rotini cleans it up and gets it cleared out. Spence brings it across. Nice pass to Sikowski. Sikowski trying to work her way downfield around Wilson, but we're going to actually get a whistle, maybe an offsides call on St. Mary's. I'm going to have to add that one in here too. I think I had offsides on my other tablet added in with the illegal throw-in as well as an extra stat to keep track of. So offsides there. That was an elbow. The Timberlake player looking to get a hands call on that one, but didn't get it. St. Mary's is trying to control that ball down. It's Sikowski and Spence. They need a little bit more separation. And Maddie Johnson takes the ball away and gets it kicked down, and the kick is in. Maddie Johnson gets it away, and it gets over to Sikowski, and Sikowski puts it just over the head of the goalie. The goalie tried to use her hands to pop it over the crossbar, but it just barely misses and goes right into the goal. And Cassidy Sikowski gets the first goal for St. Mary's of the season and of the game. Makes the score 3-1 with 31 minutes to go in the contest. I'm actually going to give Maddie Johnson an assist on that. And now we have some subs there as Kylie Edwards comes out. Hope Asgard back into the game. I believe that's the only sub change there. That ball is going to be out of bounds as it was last touched. Timberlake touched it last. Hope will throw it in. Hope feeds it in. It gets past Johnson. Timberlake tries to get it up further into the St. Mary's side of the field, but Lumberjacks are able to reverse it to the Timberlake side. Cassie Sikowski makes a nice move and gets the ball. She's trying to get ahead of the defense. That's Wilson as she was trying to get across, and then Wilson, as something happens, I looked down at my roster for a second. Sikowski is on the ground. She takes a little bit of time to get up, but she does look to be okay. But Sikowski was trying to get around that defense and just couldn't quite clear Wilson. Now the Tigers are back on the attack, and it's going to be a nice shot once again by Kaylee Lynn. That's the one. She's the only Tiger to put any goals in for Timberlake, but she is doing a good job of it. Holder comes out to try to contest that, and Lynn was able just to get it just past her. So just as St. Mary's tried to chip into that lead a little bit, they answer right back with Timberlake's own goal on that one to bid it back to a 3-goal lead. 4-1 is the current score. Maddie Johnson has it. She kicks it up field towards the middle part of the field, and Sikowski can't get to it in time. Timberlake is bringing it back the other way. Macy Reimel steps in front, tries to get it away, and kicks it here to the near side to Johnson. Johnson backs it up to Rotini. Rotini is trying to feed it to the sideline. It gets just over the head of Asgard, goes out of bounds. Throw in for Timberlake. They throw it in right to Johnson. Johnson is able to try to get it upfield. She's going to body check number 15. They're fighting for the ball, and they're going to call Jade Reed for the foul. I think they said she used her elbows a little bit too much on that. Maddie Johnson doing a good job out there. She's a freshman this year. She's really getting in there and mixing it up with Timberlake. Dundas takes the kick for St. Mary's. They feed it down into the middle towards the 18, but Timberlake able to come away with it. Stacy's going to try to attack that ball, Mitchell, and she misses. Timberlake is trying to feed it down, get it inside. Todd was on defense. They tried to feed it across the middle. Dundas clears it out. St. Mary's back on the attack as Spence fed that one a little bit too far ahead. There was nobody there to take it for St. Mary's, and Timberlake clears it back to the other side of the field, and it goes out of bounds, though. St. Mary's will throw it in. Into Anderson. Anderson gets it fed towards the middle, but as Spence comes over for it, Spence gets around the defender, feeds the ball forward, but it goes right to a host of Timberlake defenders. Now it's crossed to the near side of the field. They're trying to feed it back to the defense. Sikowski tried to get to it before it got across to the defense. And then it's number 5, Glemser, who kicks it out of bounds, far side of the field. Looks like Kylie Edwards might be getting ready to check in for St. Mary's. The throw-in is into Spence. Spence goes back to the ball, gets it, clicks it to the middle of the field to Johnson. Johnson gets it to Sikowski. Sikowski into the penalty arc, but it gets kicked back out and cleared by Timberlake, now out of bounds. And it looks like we're going to have Spooner. That's a dead ball, but they're not letting them sub yet. Or now they are, I think. So Sikowski's coming out. Edwards is in. And I think Spooner might have to, nope, Spooner gets to come in now. And she's coming in for Asgard. Now the throw in by Darian Todd. Timberlake gets a foot on it, kicks it down across the midfield. And Timberlake trying to get it down. Todd doing a good job of defense, getting that ball away and feeding it back across into St. Mary's, or into Timberlake territory. But Timberlake quickly clears it back down onto the St. Mary's side of the field. Now Todd tries to clear it back forward. A couple Lumberjacks there to try to get that. And the ball still low with Timberlake. Timberlake into the middle of the field. Now they feed it up into the 18. Todd tries to get to it, clears it to the outside, out of bounds. Timberlake will throw it in. Actually, no, they say it was actually last touched by Timberlake, which kind of surprises me. Throw in, trying to get it into Anderson, but it's Jade Reed for Timberlake that's able to clear it away. She's trying to cross it across the middle, and Todd gets in the way. It doesn't actually go out of bounds, so Timberlake still has it. Now it's up. Sarah Spence fighting for the ball with the Timberlake player. She was on the ground still kind of trying to fight for a little bit. St. Mary's finally gets it away and clears it up, but right to Timberlake. So Timberlake still in control here of the ball. Now they feed it back down to the top of the 18. Todd with a big kick crosses it over to Edwards here on the near side. Edwards tries to get it up to Johnson in the middle of the field. Back to Edwards. Edwards missed that ball trying to control it. It doesn't go out of bounds, but Edwards able to get it back. She tries to get it over to Reimel, and it gets past Reimel. Now Timberlake feeds it back up front. Stacy Mitchell sticking that arm out there. Luckily I missed it, but she looked like she was trying to grab that ball. Now Timberlake, top of the 18, inside the 18, fighting to try to get another shot. They get it out to Kaylee Lynn, who has been the hot foot for the scoring for Timberlake. She puts it all the way over the goal, out of bounds. She's had 12 shots today. 7 of those shots have been on target. 4 goals for Kaylee Lynn. For the Tigers, she has all 4 of the goals for Timberlake. Cassidy Sikowski has the goal for St. Mary's. Sikowski is, yeah, I had her as out already. She was getting a breather and talking to Coach Morris for a minute. Nice kick by Dundas, but its first person to the ball there was a Timberlake player. Now they get it to that hot-footed Lynn. She's trying to cross it out towards the outside, and it's going to go almost out of bounds, but a nice stop by Timberlake to get it before it goes out of bounds. Now they're trying to reset that offense up as Stacy Mitchell clears it up to Anderson. Anderson trying to get control of it. She's has the ball taken away from her. Now Johnson is battling with a Timberlake player. I think it's I'm not sure who that was. That was number 8, Anderson. Then now back into the 18 as Todd loses the battle with Hilliard. And a shot, I'm not sure if that was a shot, but it was a cross. It was off target. It wasn't close to going in the goal. St. Mary's will have the goal kick here. 23 minutes left in the game. St. Mary's trails 4-1 to Timberlake. Lumberjack Girls Soccer. Once again, first time calling a soccer game, so it's going to take some time to understand and get the terminology correct. So bear with me as we learn this together. And Dutton just kicks it up to Lumberjack offense. Johnson tries to feed it backwards, and it's going to get kind of taken away by Timberlake for a moment, but St. Mary's able to recover it as Macy Reimel tries to feed it through for Spooner, but it gets stopped by Wilson for Timberlake. Timberlake now brings it back onto the offensive side. It's into to Hilliard, and then kicked out of bounds by Timberlake. St. Mary's making a substitution here. Sarah Spence is coming out. Angela Parrish into the game for St. Mary's. Into, I think, a midfield defense position. Maybe, no, she's staying in that forward spot, so Spence must have been playing forward at the moment. And Timberlake is top of the 18 into the penalty arc. Mitchell, no, that's Rotini that's trying to clear it out, and she's going to try to put a big boot on it, but stepping in the way of it was Hilliard for Timberlake. That ball is going to get kicked in through the Lumberjack defense, and not really a shot, but it's going to be Holder that cleans it up from the keeper position. She's going to kick it out towards midfield. Timberlake first to put a foot on it. Macy Reimel's going to try to contest it. Oh, and there's a handball by Stacy Mitchell. She stuck that hand right up there and tapped it back down. I said, got to give her a break. She played she played volleyball last year. She's somewhat new. She's played soccer in the past in the smaller leagues, or the St. Mary's leagues, but it's the first time for her in quite a while to play soccer. I actually think Jenna was laughing at her from the goalie box. So the ball got kicked out of the end line by Timberlake, so St. Mary's with the goal kick. Dundas looks over her options. She's going to kick it kind of towards the sideline. It's going to go to Reimel. Reimel to Johnson. Johnson gets it ahead. She gets it through the defense. We've got almost a little bit of numbers there. Macy Reimel comes up after Timberlake contested it, and Timberlake's going to clear it out to the far side of the field. It's going to go out of bounds as Bethy Anderson tried to get there before it did go out of bounds. But a nice little run there by St. Mary's as they were almost getting it through that defense. Had a chance. Then defense stiffened up there. They try to throw into to Parrish. And then the ball gets back to Timberlake. Timberlake's trying to bring it across. Driving up on a nice save by Rotini, or steal away by Rotini there. Sends the Timberlake player tumbling. But Timberlake then quickly recovers the ball. Now Mitchell is fighting for it. Now it's going to be a pass through the defense. I don't think that was offsides because the ball went through before the offensive player did. Kaylee Lynn had it, and coming up and taking it away is Dundas, and it's going to be out of bounds at the end line by Dundas. It's going to be a corner kick for Timberlake. See, the second corner kick, that first corner kick Timberlake did in the first half went right across the face of the goal, right in front. And Timberlake was luckily for St. Mary's, Timberlake wasn't able to put anybody onto that ball to get it in. It is number 15, Jade Reed, that crosses it. Kylie Edwards gets in there and helps knock it away. The ball's getting batted around. And finally, it's going to be a save as it was booted over the top. I believe that was Kaylee Lynn once again with the shot. And I'm going to give Holder actually a couple of saves because she had that ball bounce off of her hand a time earlier than that. And now what are they doing? Did Jenna let's see here. I'm going to see what they're doing. They're calling the ref, or calling Morris out to see Holder. I didn't see if anything happened to her, but in that scrum of everything. So we've got Macy Reimel going out. Sarah Spence is back in. Where's number 2? And I think they're pulling Jenna out for injury. Macy Reimel is going to go into the goal for St. Mary's. She has some experience in that spot, a little bit of experience, not a ton. But there's not a whole lot of other players on the team that have a ton of experience either. Parrish has a little bit of experience in the goal as well. And Hope Asgard. But they're going to stick. Macy last year, she's pretty fearless in that goalie position, and you have to be fearless. She doesn't have a lot of understanding or knowledge 100% of that position yet, but she's pretty fearless when it comes to it. She will risk life and limb to stop that ball. So I see that. Who else came off? Because, okay, that looks like Parrish is going off. As, well, I said Spence went back in. Spence is in still, right? Yeah. Okay. And Sikowski came back in for St. Mary's. So the ball is now in play, goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in by Timberlake. So I'm not 100% sure what happened to Jenna. If she maybe got hit in the head, maybe they're worried that she got hit hard. I don't know. I didn't quite catch it. I didn't see anything like that happen, but may have just missed it. Throw in from Timberlake. Stacy Mitchell kicks it right back out of bounds. 16 minutes left for that injury switch. So they'll probably add just a little bit of time to the clock, so we'll see what happens there as the ball is back in play. Johnson trying to get it away, but they cross it through to that dangerous Kaylee Lynn, and it's going to be a shot that gets right past Reimel. She tried to get her hands down, and she didn't necessarily try to get right in front of the ball, and it just went right through her hands as she tried to clap them shut on it. 5th goal by Lynn, as she has made them all. 1-5 is the score. St. Mary's trails. See a little bit of frustration, looks like, by Jenna as she's undoing her shin guards, which understandably so. St. Mary's had the ball on the offensive side. Timberlake clears it back to the opposite side. Timberlake working. They get it into the middle. Johnson tries to get the ball back out, and it's going to be into Lynn. That Kaylee Lynn took a shot there, and this time I'm going to call it a shot on goal. This time Macy Reimel is there to clear it out. No, not a steal. Save by Reimel. Ball back into play. Timberlake has it. They have it to Hegstead. Hegstead to the middle to, that is Wilson. Rotini tries to go clear that one up. Wilson's going to take kind of a long shot there, and it doesn't go as Reimel gets on top of that one as well. Again, the ball kicked back out towards midfield. Timberlake able to get control. Rotini out there on Reed to try to contest that. The ball is kicked down near the end line, just stays inbound. That tall grass slows the ball down. That's going to be a shot off target that goes over the goal. Not sure who took that shot. Wait until she turns her back to us there for Timberlake. That was number 13. That's Wilson. Dundas with the kick. The ball's going to get through. Timberlake is able to control it, though. They settled it. Stacy Mitchell settles one down on a pass by Timberlake. but it's still in control by the Tigers as Stacy wasn't able to gain control. Stacy battling, though, trying to get that ball away. They go back and then right back to Barry. Barry puts her foot on the ball, and it goes over and out of play. A shot by Barry that misses. St. Mary's will goal kick once again. Jenna has actually cleared to play. It looks like she's okay. She's actually going to check back in for Spooner. So that's good to see. That ball is kicked into the middle of the field. Maybe Jenna also says, I'm okay with coming in and just playing some different position now that they've got that lead on us. And that's going to be a ball in and past Reimel. And I think finally we get actually a different girl scoring this time for Timberlake. I believe that was Wilson. 6-1 the score. St. Mary's trails. 11, just under 12 to go in the game. So St. Mary's will reset. They have the ball. Not Stace, that's Sarah Spence that has it. She feeds it up to Holder. Holder settles the ball down, tries to get back to it. Now she's trying to defend it from the defenders. Over to Edwards, now out to the middle to Sikowski. Timberlake able to clear it out. It's Glimser who gets it ahead to her teammate. Now they feed it across midfield. Darian Todd trying to clear it out. It gets booted back towards Dundas. Dundas trying to get it clear. She's going to clear it out of bounds. A throw in by Timberlake from the far side. Timberlake gets the ball, throwing it in. Todd steps in front of it, but it comes away to Kaylee Lynn. Kaylee Lynn feeds it to the middle. Stacy Mitchell comes up and gets the steal there as she clears it ahead for St. Mary's. Now the ball near midfield, in the midfield circle. It is Reed carrying it forward. She gets it up to Hegstead. Hegstead kicks it down into towards the inline, and Macy Reimel comes out and corrals that from her keeper position. She's going to kick it out to midfield. Anderson trying to get to it first, but she's cut off by Glimser. Glimser with a kick ahead. Dundas is going to come out and clear it upfield. Johnson takes it. Now to Spence. Now we got a cluster of players trying to fight for it there. As it's on the St. Mary's side of the field, it's out to number 9, Alexis Berry, and she takes the shot, but it's a save by Macy Reimel. Oh, where did Macy go on there? There we go. Macy brings it up, makes the kick. It goes out, rolls on past Spence, and then gets kicked out of bounds by Glimser for Timberlake. Throw in by St. Mary's into Spence. Spence loses control. It's taken away by the Timberlake defense. They feed it across midfield. Coming up to try to play it is Mitchell, and Mitchell with a nice steal once again. Tries to feed it ahead. Can't get it to one of her players. The ball is now kicked by Reed all the way down to Reimel. Reimel's going to scoop it up, and she kicks it towards the midfield circle. Stepping in front to knock it down first is Jade Reed, though, as Johnson backpedal right past her. St. Mary's, though, does regain possession. It's in the hands of Anderson, who gets it to Sikowski. Sikowski gets it ahead. It's into Spence, and the Lumberjacks have numbers, and Spence tries to slow down. Spence should have just kept going. She had Holder open to try to cross it to, but instead she tried to slow down a little bit and maybe fool the defender. Spence does get a shot, but it is saved. As Ellen Nunn snags that one. Kicks it back out midfield now. Sikowski battling with, I believe, Reed. Reed gets it ahead to Hegstead. Now it's ahead to the near sideline. Hegstead comes in from behind on Edwards and gives a little body check, trying to get the ball out. It goes out of bounds. They say last touched by Edwards, so the Tigers will have the throw in. Some subs for Timberlake. Kaylee Lynn, one of the Tigers to go off the field. Just under 8 to play. Throw in is in. Mitchell is trying to get it cleared back out, and it's going to be kicked out of bounds by Timberlake. It'll be a throw in for St. Mary's now. Into Johnson. Johnson goes back to Edwards. Edwards tries to feed it ahead, and it's intercepted by Timberlake. That was Reed that clears it down the field, and it's going to be Todd who kicks it back upfield, trying to get control for St. Mary's. But it's Wilson that is bringing it up for Timberlake. She's going to kick it ahead, kind of cross it. Mitchell's trying to get to it before the Timberlake player does, and they kind of get there at the same time with Barry. It's going to go out of bounds off of Barry. St. Mary's will throw in. Mitchell looks like she's going to do it this time from down near the corner. She's going to go into Edwards. Edwards trying to get the sideline. Is going to be tipped out of bounds by Barry once again. To throw into Johnson from Edwards. Johnson tries to carry down the sideline. I thought that was off of Timberlake, but they say off of St. Mary's. So Timberlake with the throw in. And that was elbows by Mitchell, but I don't know if that's fair game or not. If you can hit it off your elbows, as Mitchell put her arms up in front of that. Ball goes out of bounds from St. Mary's, so it'll be a throw-in for Timberlake. Topanga Rojas will throw it in. Goes down the sideline. Now Rotini tries to clear it, but it goes back to Timberlake. Timberlake now on the attack. Anderson has it. She's going to look for an open player. Finds one, but she's quickly double-teamed by a couple Lumberjack defenders. Anderson fighting for that ball, and Rotini. Now it's back to Wilson. Wilson goes to the far side, and finally Todd is able to clear it forward. Spence makes a nice move around the defender. Now she's trying to turn on the Jets, getting upfield. Going to cross it over to Sikowski. Sikowski almost had a chance, but a good defensive play there by Timberlake to kind of get the defense a chance to recover. And now Timberlake has control going the other way. Cross midfield. All the way down is Reed, so far uncontested. That's kicked down into the 18. Dundas is going to go clear it out up the line, and it's going to go to Anderson in play still. Anderson looks up to Spence. Spence battling with number 8. That's Anderson for the ball as they're just on the Timberlake side of the field. And Timberlake able to clear it back up. Now it's going to be Rotini trying to clear it down, but it's going to come right off of a Timberlake player staying on the St. Mary's side. Now Todd tries to clear it out. Doesn't get a good piece of that one. Timberlake still has it. Wilson down to the 18. Just inside now. Now the Tigers working it back around. They feed it inside, and it's going to be a shot by Alexis Berry that's off target. Hope Asgard going to come in for the Jacks. It looks like she's coming in for Edwards. Just about 4 minutes left to go, unless they add some time due to the stoppage earlier. Dundas with the goal kick. Nobody really checked to that one again. That was Rotini could have checked to that, and it just she watched it somewhat, kind of started to check to it, but not as quickly as I would think they would want them to check to it. The ball is getting across the timeline, though. St. Mary, I call it timeline. I'm used to basketball. I mixed up basketball with everything. So I was midfield, but Timberlake quickly gets it back down onto the St. Mary's side. Reimel was able to come up and get that ball as it was rolling down into the goal area. Reimel kicks it back towards midfield. It was to Jade Reed, first one to get to it for Timberlake, as it was almost right to her. And Timberlake again attacking once again, and that is going to be a whistle. I kind of thought so, as see who that was that came in from behind and took Darian Todd out. I think it's number 9 or 8. Her hair is too long, I can't tell. I think it's 8. Ball is kicked up to Spence. Spence trying to cross it over to Sikowski. It gets batted down by a Timberlake player. Timberlake back in control of the ball. Carrying it is Hegstead. Hegstead through the defense. Nice little crossing pass there. And it's going to be that time it's an assist. I believe that was by Hegstead, who crossed it over, and they bounced it off the post. That was Kirsten Solly with the goal. 7-1 the score. St. Mary's trails. 2 minutes and change to go. Holder feeds it up to the middle of the field. Nobody there to get it, though, as Timberlake kicks it back to the opposite side. Todd fighting for the ball down there with, I believe that's number 26, Sturgill. She takes a lazy shot at the goal, and Reimel able to step in front of it. On the ensuing possession, St. Mary's is on the Timberlake side. Timberlake kicks it, clears it out of bounds. St. Mary's ball throw in from the near side. Maddie Johnson is going to hand it off to Asgard. Asgard going to take care of the throw in. She's going to go to try to go to Johnson, but a Timberlake player, that's Rojas, steps right in front of it. Now St. Mary's had control for a moment, but the defense clears it out. That's Glimser, who finds Sturgill on the far sideline. Sturgill crosses it, looking for, it looks like Hegstead. Mitchell is able to get it as it misses the intended target. Now Timberlake clears it back to the top. Clears it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw in by Asgard. As St. Mary's still battling here, down by 6. Into Holder. Holder battling. Has the ball taken away from her by, I believe that was Reed. Now Timberlake down the sideline, near side. It's going to be Stacy Mitchell who steps in front of it, though. A nice job by Mitchell with another steal there. She put herself between the ball and the body of the offensive player. But Timberlake has the ball back. Now they feed it through. It's to number 10, Somas, and I think they call an offsides there on Timberlake. Somebody for the Tigers was out of place. So offsides in soccer is when you have an offensive player that is behind the defense before the ball is. So you cannot be behind the defense if the ball is not there already. That one was a nice pass up the middle, and clearing it out is Dundas. It's still in control of Timberlake, coming out on kind of a shot, but I'm not really going to consider it a save or anything. It was well, I guess I could call it a shot. It was number 26 with that shot. And it was Macy Reimel that did pull it down. And then I hear the final whistles blowing there as the game is coming to an end, or has come to an end, I should say. St. Mary's will fall in their first action of the season by a score of 7-1 to Timberlake. And there was some good, and there was some stuff that obviously needs to be worked on. But like I said earlier, Timberlake has had 3 or 4 games under their belt. St. Mary's is first live action against a team, so a little bit of an advantage there for Timberlake. And Timberlake's always been a fairly strong team as well. So we'll see what St. Mary's can work on over the next, well, they've got some games early next week, but we'll get that all worked out. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back and do a quick recap.
And even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel at 245-2545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it. and so would Fido.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue.
Now we can get to a game that I know better. I mean, I know soccer, but it's just
If
I've
you
never
have
called it, so it's hard to.
obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull infused or Lotus energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind, 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's. Cold weather is coming and 10th Street Lumber has...
Oops, I didn't record this.
Super premium pellets to
Oh,
energy
well.
logs and fireplaces.
I pushed the streaming thing, but I didn't push the record.
All winter long. North Idaho energy logs and stove pellets are the best.
It's okay. It's saved on YouTube.
100% natural with no chemicals and burn cleaner, hotter, and longer. If you need a new stove, 10th Street Lumber is a proud Kuma stove supplier. Kuma wood stoves are made right here in Idaho and are some of the best on the market. 10th Street Lumber in St.
You know you're gonna have to go down and
Mary's
sign Angela
today.
out, right?
Located on 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
I mean, they're gonna have their. Well, don't go bug them right. They're gonna be meeting right now, but. And we are back here as St. Mary's girls soccer falls 7-1 to Timberlake in the first action of the season for the Lumberjack girls. Like I said, there was some good, some bad, and some ugly here and there, but they get a chance to really see where they're at and what they need to work on in practice. One of the biggest things I would see would be maybe checking to the ball on some of those kicks from the goal or from other places that get up in the air, but otherwise they have something to actually build on now that they've actually finally got to play a game. 1 goal and 1 assist for St. Mary's. St. Mary's only had 3 shots on goal with 4 shots total, and I had 2 fouls committed by the Lumberjacks. 18 saves, I should say, by St. Mary's, and St. Mary's did have 10 steals on defense. I didn't really keep track of the steals for Timberlake, though. 7 total goals for Timberlake, 1 assist, 18 shots on goal, 35 total shots for the Tigers. They had at least 3 fouls called against them, and they had a couple of corner kicks as well, and about 3 or 4 saves for the Tigers. Some individual stats here. We'll take a look at the goals. Kaylee Lynn scored most of the goals for Timberlake. Had a real hot foot going here in this game. It started off 3 minutes in where she scored the first goal. 10 minutes in the first half, she scored her second goal. And then that was it in the first half. In the second half, it was at well, that says 81-minute mark. That is not right. I need to start resetting my timer on there to see how that works. But Kaylee Lynn had the first goal of the second half. Cassidy Sikowski for St. Mary's got the first goal for St. Mary's early in the second half, and she was assisted by Johnson. Then there was 2 more goals by Kaylee Lynn, and then Ashley Wilson had a goal for Timberlake, and Kirsten Solly finished it off with a goal late in the game to get that 7-1 lead. Let's see, going back into the other stats, Jenna Holder, before she got pulled out of the goal, had 13 saves for St. Mary's. And then trying to scroll through the rest of these stats, there's not a lot of stats. It's not a huge stat game where there's like everybody has stats. Allie Dundas I had with 3 steals. Cassidy Sikowski had 2 shots on goal, 3 total shots with 1 goal. Angela Parrish didn't have anything. She had about 23 minutes of playing time. Darian Todd finished the game with a couple of steals. Maddie Johnson had a pretty good game as a freshman. She played really well out there. Bonnie Rotini had a pretty good job on defense there. Stacy Mitchell ended up with 3 steals in the second half, so good job by her. 1 handball and a steal by Sarah Spence. So that's about it. The stats are really fairly simple when it comes to soccer. St. Mary's, like I said, falls 7-1, first game of the season. Lumberjacks, boys and girls, are scheduled to play at Priest River next Tuesday, and we will probably be broadcasting that soccer game, both of those games, hopefully, and do a little bit more research and maybe listen to some more radio broadcasts for some other soccer games and get a little bit more of a feel for that part of it. But don't forget, we are now headed to Priest River. We're going to be calling the Lumberjack football game up in Priest River, as they will be taking on the Spartans to open the season. That one will not be online. It will only be on the radio, so I don't have a lot of options for power up there and stuff like that, so I can't connect all of my equipment for that game. But we will have it on the air. Our pregame will hopefully start at about 3 o'clock, as the kickoff for varsity football will be at 4 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and send it back to Teresa at the studio. Go get yourself some lunch or something, and I'll call you back here in a few hours. Once again, Lumberjack girls fall 7-1, and next up will be some Lumberjack football. So go ahead and